All right. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning and good day to all audience and viewer from Master University Facebook page and YouTube channel. Welcome to the webinar conducted by the Faculty of Engineering, Building Environmental and Information Technology of Master University. My name is Aladdin Abok, and I'm from Engineering and Environment and Information Technology faculty at Master University. I will be serving as your moderator today. Today we will be hearing a presentation from Associate Prof. Dr. Abdurrahim Siddiq Pacha. Dr. Abdurrahim Siddiq Pacha obtained his PhD from Multimedia University, Cyberjaya, Malaysia. He received Master of Engineering in Power Electronics and Drives Engineering from sorry sir for this uh, Pastina University in India. I'm so sorry. And Bachelor of Engineering degree in Electronics and Communication Engineering from Madurai Kamaraj University in India. Currently, he is working as an associate professor in the Faculty of Engineering and Built Environment at Mass University, Malaysia. He has more than 30 years of teaching experience at master and bachelor degree levels in electrical and electronics communication engineering. He is He's chartered, he is chartered engineer from UK Engineering Council, graduate member in Board of Engineers Malaysia, and a member of various professional bodies. He is certified the trainer, and can provide training on 5G wireless communication, Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence. He has served as keynote speaker, reviewer for peer-reviewed journals, and chairman in international conference. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Associate Prof. Dr. Abdurrahman Rahim Siddiq Pacha, who will be speaking to us with topic 5G in digital transformation. All right, Doctor, you can start.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Laudin, for your nice introduction. Uh, Dear audience, Assalamu alaikum and good morning. Today webinar session is 5G in digital transformation. Recently, the 5G broadband network technology enters in all sectors. So it is basically the whole world is in the process of deploying 5G technology. The key advantage of 5G technology is this technology offers high quality internet access, and also it will help the decentralized autonomous transformation into all business sectors and services. So this is the key advantage of 5G mobile wireless technology. In this webinar, I will cover what is 5G technology and its characteristics, applications towards Industry 4.0, and as well as industrial IoT and its use cases, real-time use cases. These are the contents of my today's webinar. First, let us know what is 5G. 5G is a modern wireless communication technology which is evolved from the next advanced state of 4G. So the key benefits of 5G applications is speed and bandwidth, coverage and availability, latency. Due to these three characteristics, we will have a high quality of internet services in business sectors, service sectors, and modern industries. Okay, so what are the key characteristics of 5G compared to the earlier versions? So the key point is enhanced mobile broadband, which means higher bandwidth, high speed with low latency. Because compared to the previous 4G, it is very faster than and which means 20 times faster than 4G with the low bands, and higher bands is more 100 times. And massive man type, because we can connect millions of devices. Nowadays, all devices are autonomous. For example, compared to the last decade, this recent years, mobile users are drastically increasing. Every sectors we use our mobile devices. For example, our smartphones. Smartphone penetrates in all areas, your banking operation, your day-to-day application, everywhere. Without smartphone, you can't go out from your home, and you can't live in your home also, because smartphone is very, very essential. So if the number of devices increases, eventually we need more coverage and we need a better quality of services. This can be possible only with the help of 5G, which is a massive machine type characteristics. Another one, ultra reliable and low latency communication. What is mean by ultra reliable and low latency? Latency means when any changes in the input side, immediately there will be a reflection. Meaning to say that when we download something immediately, or when the machine communicate with other machines, immediately it has to respond. It means the speed. So the latency should be very much low in this 5G technology. So in order to have a good, better environment in terms of services and business sectors, these three characteristics are essential. So actually, we have various, revolutions. Previously, we are using a 3G partner product. So now we evaluate into 5G next day, the radio services. So these are the key components. How we can expand? We can expand in various sectors, in automobile, autonomous transportation, healthcare applications, and reality, business operations, industrial communications. All these sectors are, we can use 5G. So eventually the economy of the world increases, because now due to these expanding mobile ecosystems, 31 point trillions business, economy increases. So what are the applications? Actually, with 5G, we can apply and connect with various devices like Internet of Things and artificial intelligence, because with these three, only 5G will operate. And one more thing, the various sectors I mentioned, industrial communication is the most important one, because we are moving towards industrial 4.0 in the developing countries, whereas in developed countries, they move industrial 5.0. So this beneficial 5G will be beneficial for all these applications. Healthcare, because nowadays we know that during the pandemic time, we cannot move anywhere. Even if we have any medical issues, we cannot go and see the doctors during this time, because we are using our gadgets, or we are communicating through. But if we have any agricultural and farming, it penetrates in agriculture sector also, smart farming, because we are using various sensors for plantation. For example, in Indonesia, we have a palm trees, big hectares of lands are available. They plant palm trees, but it's difficult to use human labor to actually monitor the palm trees. So that's why they use the drone technology. So when you use the drone technology, the communication, we can communicate through 5G only. Because why? The uploading and downloading speed of 5G is very high compared to 4G. It means faster speed and for high throughput. These are the essential characteristics of 5G. You can see in these slides, 5G actually, what are the 5G frequency bands? Actually, the low band is 700 megahertz, but normally it starts from 1 gigahertz to 100. So 1 to 6, we can call it as a mid band, which is used for different application. And starting from 24 gigahertz to 100, we can use it for millimeter wave, which is useful for small cell applications. Later, my slides, other slides will, during the slides, I'll explain all these things in a detailed one. So you can see the next diagram, the comparison of 3G, 4G, and 5G. You can see the speed. Speed is tremendously increase in 5G. This is the things. When you want to download certain things using our current one, sometimes when you look at this live stream also, sometimes Aladdin picture and my picture will be streaming. Why? We are using 4G. So if you use 5G, nothing will happen because very clear and high quality internet. So this is the one of the example from our live session also we can see. So when you apply 5G, these things can be improved definitely. Okay. So I mentioned about 5G. We have three different bands, which is we can because Malaysian multimedia, commission and Malaysian communications, they developed a standard for 5G. What are the 5G bands? MCMC they have developed. So that they have allocated three bands. 700 is a lower megahertz is a lower band. 3.5 is the gigahertz is the mid band, and 26 to 28 the millimeter wave band. So what is the benefits of a low band? You use the low band, we have a wide coverage. It means 700 megahertz range 5G communication we deploy. We have a widest coverage, and the penetration, because if you have band, the frequency is low, the signal can penetrate through walls. Whereas in the mid band, you can get a faster speed and a low latency. It means 1 gigabits per second. Whereas in the earlier stage, 100 megabits per second only we can get it in 700 megahertz low 5G band. But the mid 5G band, we can get up to 1 Gbps speed because the speed is higher. And then when you go for the millimeter wave, millimeter means normally if any frequency goes beyond 24 gigahertz, we can call it as millimeter wave. Malaysia allocate 26 to 28 as their millimeter bands. So these bands support up to 100 gigahertz actually in the universal spectrum standard. So its bandwidth is 2 gigahertz with the combining bands to improve data throughput. Okay, so what is the disadvantage of this? When you increase the frequency, the coverage will be shorter. So because we have more collision with obstacles in the loose air, so that's why when we transmit any signal, it loses energy. So that's why we have a certain technology to improve the millimeter wave. Because since millimeter wave is high throughput, so that's why we prefer millimeter for a certain industrial application and enterprises applications. Okay, so why? How? We have a technology 5G beamforming because 4G is omnidirectional waveform, so it tend to lose energy quickly. So because we see this diagram, we have a different users, you have towers and everything. So they are standing closer because you see when you talk in a phone, near to us, many people are standing and they are also communicating. So interferences will be occur. So in beamforming, when you use mMBB, we can use the technology for beamforming, which makes the transmission between users and base stations more directional. You can see that second diagram, all like a laser beam. All the from user, it goes to one beam, another user B, another beam, user C, another beam. Whereas in the first figure, the left-hand side, it is not beamforming, so all will be interfere each other. So a directional one in for the 5G beamforming, so it leads to less interference. Okay, and then energy loss will be low and faster. Okay, another one aspect of 5G deploying 5G is 5G edge computing. This is normally nowadays everything will be cloud connected with cloud. We can call it as cloud computing environment. Whenever any data, the data will be go to your cloud. So we have stations, different stations in servers provided. So all our data will be stored in the server. For example, your WhatsApp messages, your Facebook, all the company Google, they have a Google Drive. All this one, they have their own drive. It means the cloud computing environment. They store our data. So what is the use? Because the server is far from our site, because we are the user, but the server provided by Google it's far. So what happened? Longer distance create latency. I already mentioned latency means it's not a fast response due to the sudden change in the data transmission. So we want a quicker, change. So that means low latency, but a longer distance create latency, higher latency. So that's why what we propose in the 5G have an option for 5G edge computing. It means the cloud computing services all brings to the nearer to the user. It means they are physically closer. The users are physically closer with the cloud, so that we can have AR, augmented reality, video streaming, virtual reality, all can be possible because of this edge computing technology, which we can make it through our 5G technology. So now, how I can use take an example, because I already mentioned 5G can be deployed in all sectors, service sectors like healthcare and our education, and also farming sectors, smart farming sectors, and industrial sectors as well, and transportation. So in this webinar, I'm taking how this 5G will transform the industries, because in earlier industry, in the when during the mechanical technology developed, that time every thing should be machinized. We have a pulley, we have a trolley and all. So that time we can call it as it is industry one. Later it moved to we connect the mechanical parts with the electric connection, so that it will move to the next stage of industry 2.0. And after the development of electronics, we move to digitalization, which we can call it as industry 3.0. Now industry 4.0 is connectivity. Actually, with the digital environment, we are connecting the 5G and other latest technology like IoT, AI, so that we can call it as industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 take the industries to the 5G takes the industry to the next level, which we can call it as industry 4.0. It means we have a smart factory, autonomous operations using IoT, and intelligent decision making through artificial intelligence. So these all can be possible with the help of 5G, because all the technology, three technologies are connected together. Because if you have only AI, with the AI you can't do anything, because why? It is only a coding. So if you want to apply to the industries, you need a better communications. IoT also, if because in earlier days we are using Wi-Fi, Zigbee, and our low power communications, low internet communications with fiber and all. So this and all we are now recently we are using the one. We know that when you use Wi-Fi, sometimes in your campus network and all, the connectivity will be very low. Okay, you can't hear. Sometimes the connection will be lost. Sometimes connection you can't connect. These are the difficulties. 5G can replace all these things. Eventually, the same thing happen in industry also. So that's why in modern industries, we can call it as smart factories. So industry 4.0 is basically automation and digital data exchange in manufacturing technology. In the past, actually, if you want to operate one machine, we have a mechanics. The mechanics will give the input to the machine. So once the process is over in the first machine, then it will go to the second stage of the machine. There also we need to key in the data. It means a human intervention is needed. Whereas in industry 4.0, due to our cyber physical system, Internet of Things, cloud computing, and AI, with the help of, because 5G is drive all these key technologies. Without 5G, because IoT, cloud computing, AI are 5G driven technologies. Without 5G, they can't move. Okay. So intelligence, because the main focus is intelligent machine to machine communications through faster and smarter networks, which is our 5G. So that's why in our earlier devices, we are not using the IoT and all. Now in industry 4.0, we are using industrial IoT devices, sensors, shift from our hierarchical automations. Okay. And then cell control, enterprise, all should be automated. So everyone will be given with the IP address. Every machine have IP address. So they are connected through industrial Ethernet protocol. But nowadays we are moving towards wireless control, so digitized mobile communication, and we have a human machine interface is totally avoided, machine to machine communication. That's why we are transforming from our conventional method to the digital transformations, which we can various computers are connected together, and we will get the reliable communications through 5G, because still we have a computer communications with the help of 4G, but the faster rate and low latency, enhanced users, more users, we need a 5G. In other developed countries, they are moving towards 6G also, but a little bit difference. Once we deploy 5G, we know we can enhance to 6G and other one. So now our main focus is enhanced bandwidth, enhanced massive machine communication, and ultra reliable low latency URL. These are the key performance we want in our current applications. All our applications, especially in industries, they need it. Okay, 5G takes industry to next level. What is mean by reconfigurable factories? Robots also nowadays, all industries are with robots, right? So the robo communication and everything cannot be possible with our current existing Wi-Fi and Zigbee technology and our low quality internet. So we need a high quality internet. So this can be possible with 5G, and connecting moving parts, single network, scale to more devices, because earlier days we are using very less devices. Now more devices in industries for due to, and then when you connect all with this with the 5G communications, initial cost will be higher, but the maintenance cost, then the long run, the industry will get lower maintenance cost. This is the benefits of 5G. So that's why 5G is really connected with Industry 4.0, and it takes to the next level of smart factory. Okay, how to design a 5G? Because I told you already, in 5G offers diverse services. Okay, we can scalable to our existing variable requirements, because every industry has its own, so we need to customize. Okay, and diverse spectrum. We have various spectrums available in 5G. It is a lower band, less than 1 gigahertz, and mid band 1 to 6, and I said millimeter 24 gigahertz and above. So this can be possible available spectrums in 5G, and diverse deployments from macro to indoor and outdoor, all can be possible, because we have a various type of applications. For example, in a campus, we have indoor communications, indoor internet work, that and all, no need for a high bandwidth, because, the communication, so we can go for a mid-band frequencies, 3.5. When you go for industry, machine-to-machine communications, and faster downloading and uploading is required. So we go for the the micro small cell configurations and all, so that we can get it from 5G. Okay, so one device capabilities complement with the edge at wireless edge. So I already mentioned the key feature of 5G is the edge cloud, because the cloud services at the user premises. Meaning to say that we can analyze the data, the important reliable data at the user side before we sending to the cloud environment. So that's why edge computing mechanism, we can calculate everything and sense and process, and we will get the secured intelligence information and predictions. Okay, so this is a company which has industrial automations. Okay, you can see so many things are connected. So this all not a human operated one. So all intelligence. So one machine to another machine to machine interface is important. So that's why what we need a latency rate lower 1 millisecond. So these are the standard requirement for the industrial automation. So this with our current technology, 4G technologies, it's very hard, and then we can go for various extra Ethernet facilities and fibers and all needed. So when you replace this with the 5G, then everything can be easy and more speed, more throughput, and low latency. Because in industrial automation, latency is the key parameter for our customer premises and all. Speed is important because faster speed, download speed, upload speed, all important, and then more coverage area. That is for the our campus network. But whereas for industry, the latency is a primary, and then more machines has to be connected, so massive eMBB connections also required. Okay, so this is deploying a 5G mmWave in industry. For example, factories, warehouse, new classes of scene, and better performance. So these are predicted because why this AGVs, I mean automated guided vehicles. So with the 4G, it's hard to deploy this. So 5G, with 5G, we can possible AGV, automated guided vehicles, and then extend our reality, and then we have to connect with the diverse and more multiple devices and massive devices. Okay, so all these things I already mentioned. Now we all understand what is 5G, what is its characteristics. That this 5G can drive various applications. As I mentioned, it is connected with IoT. So what is IoT? IoT is a Internet of Things. It means the various sensors in the industries are connected together. They are communicate each. These smart devices are connected and communicate each other. Meaning to say that they collect data and communicate data, process the data and send it to the cloud environment. This we can call it as we are familiar. So industry, we have various sensors like temperature sensor, humidity sensors, and speed sensor. So various sensors, intelligent sensors are available. So these sensors are part of the element in the industry 4.0. So this is the, because in a thing means it's in the context of IoT is a physical object. So each sensor is identified with an IP address, so that it is physically connected with the 5G, I mean 5G network, and then from 5G the data are transferred to the respective other sensor or other objects. So how this one? Because why nowadays IoT is evaluating, because of the new technologies like more mobile apps, smartphone penetration. Because and then we have various wireless sensors and controllers, cloud, big data technologies. All these technologies move, due to the fast development of Internet of Things. So that the life cycle is from the industry, we have to collect the data and communicate the data, analyze the data, and act accordingly. So I mentioned in the edge computing, because everything will be inside the, because the edge computing technology, the server, cloud environment will be at the premises side, so that we can see in our gadgets, and then the final data will be sent to the real cloud environment. So sensors and gateway and integrator, data management cloud, these are the architectural of elements. This architecture is applied in the industries. Okay, this is a simplified architecture view. And when you design 5G, okay, connectivity with a dedicated network, high reliability, low latency, replace the wire Ethernet, because in industry we have industrial Ethernet, which is a wired one. So with the 5G technology, we have to remove the wireless reconfigurable network. Okay, and then spectrum to display private, because sometimes we can, the industry can get their private license band for their own purpose. Okay, from the allocated band. So these are the possibilities. So 5G mmWave, with the collaborating with the ecosystems, 5G mmWave deploy. This is the industry floor. This is the industry floor. In the industry floor, the 5G band, the uploading speed and downloading speed with the help of 5G, it is mentioned there. Okay, so how to upgrade our existing industrial system? See, the left hand side we have the existing system. The right hand, it is moves to the 5G. You can see that all the wires are replaced, and then we have a edge computing possibility also available here. Okay, so wireless edge. So industrial IoT, because IoT is there are two different types of IoT. One is normal IoT, another one industrial standard IoT. We can call it as industrial IoT, IIoT. So this IoT is connected with the 5G network, so that we can get all the benefits of 5G. So we have our local edge network, which I mentioned earlier, edge computing. Then finally it goes to the cloud services. So edge, what is mean by edge? Edge refers to computing infrastructure that exists close to the data sources. So meaning to say that all the data are processed at the industry level, meaning to say that local computer or server, rather than being sent, because that Google data and all far it, because whenever we transmit any data, when if you want to save in Google Drive, it will, the data center will be far away. So now what is the use of the edge computing? Means when you use edge computing, the latency will be reduced. Why? Because all the data are processed at the premises, our user premises level, so that no need to the travel transmission distance is less, so that everything will be processed, and reliable data or secure data can be processed at the level, no need to send higher up to the last end data center. So gateway, because when you send this everything, we need a gateway for sending to the edge. So what all the gateways are used currently? So ProfitNet is one of the GateNet used in industry. Profit process field in internet. It is an industry technical standard for data communications, because we cannot simply send the data, because we have a standard procedures, SOP. So that's why we have a different networks. Okay, this is industrial in the Ethernet designed for collecting the data from end to end, controlling the equipment in the industry systems. I will give an example later. Okay, so this is the ProfitNet configurations. So all the protocols are defined in the IEEE 803 standard, transporting the data. Okay, so industrial IoT, as I mentioned earlier, these are the benefits. So edge computing, sensors, industrial robot, head mounted. So you see the latency rate for each, because I said the low latency is required, right? This is this data you see here, latency. What is the latency for head mounted display? What is the required latency available for handheld terminals, sensors? So industrial robot. So this latency, the latency is a key parameter, so which we can our 5G can offer this low latency, ultra URLLC, ultra low latency rate. So connectivity, so power processing, AI, edge computing services, so that we move to the secure data and connect to the IoT devices. Okay, so this is also another platform, IoT platform for industrial platform, normally available for big companies. They are offering this type of platform, cloud-based platform for Internet of Things. So this is connected through our 5G network. So now I can take one example. Actually, this is one motor company, global company. They are manufacturing industrial pump, but they are facing problem for maintaining their service and servicing and managing their products. Because if a customer or if an industry purchase one certain motors or certain industrial pump, regular maintenance and service is required. Okay, sometimes company A purchase some industrial pump from this smart equipment, this system, this company, leading company. So when any happens to the pump, they eventually the company A call this vendor. So we because there is a problem, and then they will send their service engineers after 2-3 days. And then basically industry, if you shut down the machines for operation from 1 hour or 2 hour, it leads to big loss to the company for their production in terms of their revenue. So that's why due to this smart technology, these pumps, what are the challenges? Actually, existing challenges, pumps has to be serviced, maintained during their life cycle. So data portable causes failure, and then even the engineer also, the information, they don't have all the information, because if any pump or any machine stuck suddenly, the service engineer has to come to the location, and then only after some time he has to it will take some time to diagnose the fault. But whereas in this case, what happened? Time waste of time, waste of process, whole process will be, and then lost to the company. So how this can be avoided with the help of our solution? So nowadays the pump manufacturer had sensors available, so that will measure the actual performance. Okay, the IoT devices measure the vital performance such as speed, vibration. So if the machine got stuck immediately at the premises side, using the edge computing technology, they will analyze the data, and then the company engineers itself, they know these are the costs, and then they send the vendor, call the vendor, okay, when we analyze the data in our machine pump, these are all the faults occur, so can you come? So it will save the time, because why? The analytics will be done at the premises level. So how it is possible? Edge computing. How edge computing possible? With the help of 5G. So 5G drive the intelligence devices for the factories and industries. Okay, so what are the outcomes with this technology? Direct visibility into the operating parameters of the pump, threshold reach, and down the alerts, because if any threshold comes, the alert will be there. So these are the possibilities how with the help of the new technology 5G driven industries. Okay, so this is the 125-year-old global manufacturer implements the, which I mentioned, the Datonis IoT platform for pump monitoring. Okay, thank you very much. This is the time for discussion and question and answer.
All right, sir. Thank you, Prof, for your sharing. And I have just a general question. Like as we learned from your presentation, that 5G uses spectrum better than 4G, and it's faster than 4G, and it has more capacity than 4G, and it has lower latency. Do you think that let's say in the upcoming 5 to 6 years, there will be a better network than 5G or not?
Yeah, because sustainability, you're talking about the sustainability, but almost we covered all in 4G. So even if you come for the 6G also, a small changes only can be done. No need to go for the massive infrastructure changes. Once you do move from 4G to 5G, that's enough. Even 6G, 7G also, little modifications can be done. It will improve performance a little, because almost these three are the main criteria for modern industries for the next few decades. And moreover, the
Yeah,
technology is going up and down, up always, not down always. So we need to change.
always up.
So this is because before 4G, we don't expect 5G will play a major role. If you use 5G, then when we find some shortcomings, then we adopt the new technology, because technology is growing.
It is very going very fast. To be honest, yes. Thank you for the answer. We have came to the end part of the presentation. Thank you very much, Prof. Abdurrahim Sadiq Bacha, addressing this interesting topic and for this sharing session. Hopefully, the presentation was beneficial for everyone. On the behalf of Massa University, we would like to thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your time and cooperation. Assalamu alaikum. And thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much, Prof. Thanks.
Alaikum
Goodbye.
salam. Thank you.
Goodbye.
You're welcome. You're welcome.